Alrighty, hello gamers. Hello. So, it's a little bit early, but still, we're gonna try our best to cook some cool stuff, as we always do. So we don't have that much time, But hey, it is what it is. First, let's see where we left off. Bro, I'm doing fantastic, man. I hope we can get something done today. Okay, my game crashed. Okay, fantastic. That's what I love to see. Okay, maybe next time I should like try to actually join a world first. Maybe that would be a smart thing to do. But I didn't really change something, man. But okay, it's kind of funny. Okay, let's see. Okay, the funny thing is I've actually had this issue a couple times already, but it always just went away. I know it's bad. It's with like some liquid shader. But I think I know how to fix it. Actually, if I remember right, I think we can just reload again. Oh my god, I'm lagging. Oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god. But actually, what is happening? Why am I lagging now? What the hell is happening? Okay, fantastic start. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's just see what happens if we reload again, if I can press that button. Any second, almost there. Reload. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, hey, now we have 60 frames, look at that. Okay, why did I see like a crowd control word from like a year ago for a sec? Okay, I mean, as it works. You know, I feel like I'm like 99% sure the boss used to have 500 HP and not 1000. But I mean, we're obviously on the right version. Because I mean, it does what it's doing. It does what it's supposed to do. So yeah, that's cool. I think we want to work on like the dust a little bit more. And have like the actual swapping logic. Because right now the dust is purely visual. And it like doesn't do anything. Right now the boss doesn't have a spawn animation. Because he's just always there. And I'm not sure if we're going to change that. Let me actually go out. Because I kind of want to see if we still have that issue. Am I still lagging? Like, why do I have 4 FPS in here? It's so weird. Okay, let me just restart the game again. Maybe that's gonna help. Does it mean something is clearly broken? I don't know what it is, but something is. I mean, I don't know why my OBS is taking like 70% of my GPU. That is not a good sign. I don't think that's normal. But I kind of don't want to restart OBS. For obvious reasons. Okay, let's again. But the thing is, I kind of like the idea of the boss just always being there. Right, because like the whole theme that we're probably gonna go for is that this room where we're gonna fight the boss is like its prison. Because he was like banished into like this void dimension where he could do no harm to anyone, and I'm still lagging. Okay, whatever. Get me out of here. I mean, technically we don't need the title screen. Technically we don't. But okay, we get in. That's all that matters. So, actually, before we do the dust, maybe we actually have something where the orbs spawn from. Maybe they should be our top prio. Because right now they're just coming out of nowhere. Oh, actually, never mind. Actually, no. We had some other plans. So we're not gonna make clones of the boss. But the idea was... So like, maybe for like full context, the initial idea was the boss makes like clones that spread out, go to like these positions, and then the clones spawn the orbs and shoot them towards the boss. But I think what is going to be easier to make and could look cooler is we're just going to have a bunch of dust that like goes in, and it's like kind of this orb forming out of it. And I kind of imagine it like how people describe how black holes come into existence, right? It's like this collapsing of a star, and then you have like this compressed matter. Maybe that's a bit too deep, but that's kind of my inspiration, which I think what we're gonna go for. Because I think that's gonna be way easier to make, and it could look better. Now, the main issue we have with that idea is, how do we have like the proper indicators? I'm not too sure about that. Because right now we just have these lines that go to the spot where they spawn. And it kind of made sense if there's like clones of the boss that has like some connection to them or whatever. Right, but if it's literally just a position where the orbs come from, it doesn't really make that much sense. So here's what we could do alternatively. We're just gonna symbolize these spots, maybe by having like some permanent dust there. And that dust has a certain color that shows like the order. But I think for multiple reasons that's not a good idea. Hey Dimitri, hello. Also, it's gonna be really messy. Actually, you know, maybe it's not that big of a deal. You would have to like go around to see the spots. Which means already we need to make them way longer. Because it's also going to be projectiles and stuff. And every time the colors change, the boss could do like some AoE effect. That shows you, okay, now they changed. Otherwise, you would have to just keep going rounds around the boss. See if anything changed, which kind of sucked. So we could do that. In other words, this phase is gonna be like 90% dust, hopes and dreams. And pretty much 0% of using projectiles, NPCs, or anything that I should be using. Right. Honestly, I think about it a little bit more. I think I actually regret not making projectiles for this phase. Just the thought of like giving these things like proper spawning, despawning animations and everything, bro, this is gonna be so awful. I mean, at least that we have the exact same way every single time, so I hope it's not gonna be that bad. Should I need my help? Oh, you figured it out? That's nice. Okay, so let's see, what do we start with? Okay, let's first do our little positions. So we show some indicator and know where they're gonna spawn. I think we're just gonna do this purely based on dust, and we're not gonna put a texture there. Watch my stream this morning, sure. Hey, if that helped, I am glad. Glad my past self was helpful. Okay, so first, what I was thinking, what we should really do is have a dust helper script. So I think there's so many different dust patterns I just need every time. And I have to keep re-implementing them every single time. Let's call it the legendary dust helper. .cs. And all it's gonna do is help me with dust, obviously. Oh, so it doesn't even have a namespace. I mean, I should probably do that, just to make sure stuff doesn't get messed up. Is this content helper? I think. Okay, I mean, first of all, I think we can just grab the whole dust spawning we already do. What is in here? Wait, I don't have to like import them if I just put the namespace in. Wait. So I don't need this anymore. Okay. If I get rid of this, then I still don't need it. So what was this here? Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. It is what it is. So we do have the fancy... I think that's the dust. Now just figure out a good way of putting this into a method. And calling this somehow. Okay, what would we call this? So it's dust that spawns on a circle. And it rotates. I don't know, rotating dust on circle. Beautiful. I do need to know a direction. What's going on here? What do you mean? We're coding. I mean, what else would I be doing? We're making our cool Terraria mod. I know you love Terraria so much, Pride. Look what we made so far. I made the Vicus mech with the funny orbs. Isn't that cool? It's actually kind of working. Like, you can collect the orbs. And if you don't pick up the right ones, the boss is just gonna wipe you. I know it's gonna wipe me, and I die. Isn't that cool? I mean, since I quit Lost Ark, I mean, I need something else, right? They can just wipe me all the time. But I mean, weren't you also a program? I think you were also one, right? Okay, we don't need this. So we do this from outside. We don't need loops, because we're just going to loop over the method. Makes sense. Random radius doesn't make sense. We're just writing a mod for Terraria. But it has a lot of custom logic to it, so we have to change a lot of things that vanilla Terraria does. Well, not really change, but we have to re-implement them in our own way. Right, like for example, Terraria doesn't have any true damage or whatever. So I just had to re-implement that. Or you don't really have mechanics like these, right, where you collect something and the game figures out if you somehow play a mechanic the right way or what. Yeah. It takes a really long time, but it is fun. Also, I mean, I think so far, I mean, the boss is looking decent, even though this pattern is still very much in maintenance mode. Okay, I mean, it takes a bit, right? It is what it is. Okay, I don't think we need to specify an angle, right? We just randomize it. Oh, the issue is with direction. Because, I mean, if we have a circle, right, so what we do, we just pick a random angle. Let's say this angle. Then we step a little bit in front and we compute this direction, right? Which makes sense, logically speaking. However, that kind of depends. Oh, actually, no. Well, it actually does work also for bigger circles. Because we add... But does that make sense? Yeah, because we add 0.1 to the angle, which of course is independent of the actual size of the circle. Yeah. Trying to figure out what you're doing, I say, man. We're kind of just restructuring the code. Also, like you see, like, all the dust on the outside that is not here right now. Wait one sec. Like, all this dust, that's pretty much the code. We're just moving somewhere else now, so we can reuse it in the future. Also, I think I'm probably going to reuse that somewhere at some point. So yeah, honestly, my code is so not modular. Like, most of the things, I just make them once, and I pretty much can't reuse them. But since our boss is like 90% dust with like indicators and stuff, we should make them more reusable. So yeah, we get the angle. We get the direction by going a little bit in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Makes sense. Okay, we do need a position as well. Makes sense. And we do have our radius. Cool. Let me spawn a dust. What's in the idea? Oh, we need so much shit in here. Actually, we do need so much stuff in here. Okay, maybe the... I don't know. What should like my general pattern be? Because we're gonna have a bunch of these dust methods, and they should be somewhat similar. Because to pretty much all the methods, we always need to put in the dust parameters, right? It kind of depends on like the pattern, like which scale they have, which speed and stuff, which color potentially. Even though color like never really works. But I'm thinking it probably makes the most sense to first have like position, radius and stuff, clockwise. And then with all the dust parameters, because pretty much all of them are optional. Okay, besides position and ID. Right, but then the velocity is optional, right? Can just be 1. The scale is optional. I think there's no gravity, can also be optional. You know, it's always going to be true, anyway. Why would you ever have this on false? Makes no sense. Also, I can't spell. We made a throwable cheese. Nice. Sounds very practical. Okay, I should work. I hope. How do we use this? So we need to send a loop. But do I actually need to give the entire path now always? Ooh. Okay, maybe we just don't put the namespace here. Because then we don't need it, right? Then we just do this. No. Oh wait, this one still has it. I did the wrong one. And then it, honestly, I don't understand namespaces at all. No idea what these do. But okay, whatever. I don't know how to use debuffs. You just do player.addBuff. That's all you do. Right, you have your player. Actually, you can just do main.localPlayer. LocalPlayer.addBuff. And then you tell it which type is it, which time, and honestly, I don't even know what quiet means. I never used that. But yeah, that's all you do. Just need time and type. Okay, so position. It's going to be based on a boss. Radius is going to be based on the random radius, which we don't have here. Makes sense. Oh. Your shell, hello. Yeah, we're doing an early stream today. It's going to be an early and short one. I mean, it happens every now and then. Did I make your projectiles to inflict debuffs? As far as I know, yeah. Because your projectile is gonna have like some on-player hit method, right? Or like modify hit or something. And then you can just apply a debuff to whichever target you just hit. That is as far as I know how you do it, yeah. Wait, why is the radius an integer? Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so we don't need any crazy weird math. Okay, that's way cleaner and more reusable. Isn't that cool? I just hope it's going to be more reusable. Hopefully. Okay, let's make sure it works. Okay, why does it randomly show that world, man? That's like a 1-year-old world. Well, my game is so brick today. Why does it show that? It's kind of nostalgic, though. Okay, does it still work? It still works. Perfect. Cool. Okay. Now we need the dust. That's kind of like simulating this star collapse black hole building process thingy, right? Which honestly I think we can just use the wipe animation of the boss. Because it's kind of like the same thing. It already looks kind of good. So it should happen now. It's like channeling the energy and then just busts. And we just take this without the bust. So it should be here. Oh yeah, look at all this beautiful dust code. Well, I don't even know what half of this does. Beautiful. Okay, what do we call this? Attracting dust on circle, I guess. As it's the most fitting. So, as always, we need position. We do need a radius, right? I mean, technically I use a square. So not on circle, maybe we should just say in circle. Yeah. I've got people helping you writing codes. Besides ChatGPT, no. Not really. I mean, unless you count like Googling and looking at Discord messages and stuff like that. But I usually never go out of my way and like ask other people. Because I'm way too antisocial for that. Yeah, I'm the type of person I'd rather suffer alone than ask someone for help. That's what I do. Which is a horrible way of existing, right? But it's my way of existing. That's how I see it. Okay, still need ID. Sure. Living with life for real, man. I mean, ever since I quit Lost Ark, I lost all my purpose, man. Like, all this time I invested into the game. Like people, like everybody knew me, right? And now it's just gone. It's like a thing of the past. Now nobody knows who I am. Even though I'm actually thinking of picking it up again. Also, I want to do some cool changes in the future. But I mean, the thing is, like, you can shit on Lost Ark all you want. But I still feel like it's still one of the best MMOs to play. I mean, I tried, like, the Chrono Odyssey beta, like, a couple of weeks ago. It felt awful. I played Crystal of Atlan, which was, like, this gacha MMO. Which, I mean, actually felt kind of good in terms of combat, even though it was more simplistic. But it also kind of sucked. And I mean, there's not that many choices, man. There's not that many MMOs. I mean, I guess I can play like BDO, but I also quit that after like a month last time. Like, it's rough being an MMO player. I mean, imagine calling yourself an MMO player and you sit here making mods for a different game. I mean, that's how rough it is. PoE. I mean, I played PoE 1 for like 30 minutes and I didn't enjoy it. I also played PoE 2 on stream for like 1 or 2 weeks. And I mean, it's a cool game, and I was like a big Diablo 3 enjoyer, so I thought PoE would also be cool, but I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it that much. Which, I mean, is sad, because it's kind of like Diablo, but with way more depth. Which is something that I was always missing in Diablo. Because Diablo was very, like, one-dimensional in terms of progression. But yeah, I don't know, PoE just doesn't really... It doesn't really do it for me. Yeah, bro, I think I played Diablo probably for like 1 to 2,000 hours probably. I played Diablo actively over like 10 seasons. Like, I went so hard every single time a new season came out. It was crazy, man. I had so much time back then. I mean, yes, I still have time. I just do less with my time, I guess. Okay, so let's figure out what do we actually do here. So we have like some lerp, which we obviously won't have. Maybe we actually have a parameter for intensity. I mean, it's kind of all that it does, right? You know, this is so cryptic. Okay, so T goes from 0 to 0.1. If we roll a random number that is bigger than T, we skip this iteration. Honestly, does this really make a difference? That means towards the end, we still skip 90% of dust. Which is crazy seeing how much dust it's actually spawning. But I mean, I guess we can... Actually, no, this should be on the outside. I mean, it doesn't make sense if you call a method that should spawn dust and then like rolls a random value and it has a chance to just not do anything. That makes no sense. That should be outside. Okay, so we don't care. We have the position. Okay, we know the direction. So we need a random point in a circle. I think that was a method. I hope it's this. So we have the vector2 unit, which is... Oh no, it just takes a random angle. Okay. Multiplies it by a radius. And then a number from 0 to 1. Yeah, so it's going to be at a random position in a circle. Okay, that's what we want. It's actually such a smart way of doing it. Something bigger than T skip? Yes, that is literally all it did. Do I still have the code somewhere? Where is it? Like, literally all it does is T is gonna be a value between 0 and 0.1 based on time. So like the further we are into the pattern, the bigger the wipe timer is gonna be, because it's just a counter for time. And when this whole number, whichever comes out of here, is 1, that means we get this value. Which means at most, T can be 0.1. Which means if we roll in a random number, we have at least, no matter when we do this, a 90% chance that this number is going to be bigger than T. And then we skip and we don't spawn any dust. Which, yeah, there's probably better ways of doing it. Probably. But okay, it is what it is. Guess I wanted to make it really random. Then we just call this a lot of times. Okay, it's like one of these many things with like dust where it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense explaining it, but you came to it just by like trying out random stuff and it just looked good. So we kept it that way. Okay, so we put this in. Get a random point in a circle. Actually, no. We need this separately. Wait, how am I even doing this here? Okay, we also compute the dust position. Okay, that's what I thought. Because the position we put in is like the initial position based on which we like apply the circle. Which means the dust position is just going to be this. Okay, makes sense. Okay, then we get the direction from wherever the dust is on a circle to the position in the center of the circle. And we have this position, we have an ID. We know the direction and we have the velocity. And we do have this. And we hopefully also have a scale. We do. Okay, cool. And since this is like using a bunch of logic on the outside, I don't think I'm gonna bother like replacing that. Sounds like a lot of effort. And what I'm thinking, we pretty much just spawn this over the entire mechanic. Just to like indicate the different positions. Which should be very straightforward. Which we don't need this. We can just do a for each, right? Actually, no, we can't. Okay, whatever. Okay, so we iterate over all the different spawning locations of the orbs. And then we iterate over all the different, over the number of dust particles we want to spawn per spot. And since we do this every single frame, I can try out like maybe 2, which already could be a lot. Okay. So what would the radius be? I think it should be very small, so maybe a radius of like 5 blocks. ID. I mean, I'm kind of uncreative. We just do Shadow Flame again. Also, it looks decent. Velocity can be random. Even though we kind of have the issue with like this approach where we can't make the velocity based on distance. Unless we put in like a separate parameter that does that for us. Which means potentially, right, if you have like a little position and we spawn random dust like in a circle around it at random positions, we could have dust that barely goes to the middle, right, which is correct, but we could also have dust that goes over the middle. Which may not be that big of a deal. I mean, I guess it depends like how often it's gonna happen, honestly. But yeah, let's just see. I guess what we could also do, we could have like 2 circles, 2 imaginary circles, and we only spawn dust in this area and give it a velocity such that it can never go over this. So like even the closest point can barely go to the center. So we could do this, which is a lot of effort for probably not really a visible result. Yo party, hello. Okay, let's first see how this is gonna look. Let's just give it a random velocity. Scale is probably fine. Gravity. I mean, actually it's true already. Okay. So that should give us a permanent indicator for every single position where the ops can spawn, ideally. Or not. Oh, wait, it's on the boss. Yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah. We don't want to spawn around the boss. We want to get the orb position of I. Yeah. Oh, so the radius I think was way too small. Let's make this like 10. But I see a vision here. Okay. So we have at least an indicator. So we actually can figure out where it's gonna spawn. That is something. Even though maybe not if this massive ring is here. Maybe we should disable it for the time being. This cheese is OP. That sounds like something you would say in Baldur's Gate. You have like a crazy cheese build. Now the annoying part is going to be changing the intensity of that dust based on how close we are to spawning the next orb. Like, this is going to be real annoying with this current framework. I mean, actually it's not that annoying. We need like... technically only like one more variable, right? Okay, we can actually kind of see what I actually talked about. Like, if you really look at it closely, you can see how the dust is passing through the center and comes out on the other side. Which again is not really that nice. But it's also not that bad. I also think we need different dust for this. I think we need some powerful dust. Don't see it? I mean, it is kind of hard to see, I do admit. Especially because it's so small. But if you really pay attention, I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, you do see dust going through the metal, right? A little bit, yeah. Which again is not ideal. I mean, we could just spawn so much dust that like the entire middle is just covered. And you have no way of seeing anything going on there. We could do that, but... let's first figure out some actual dust that we're gonna use. But that is all the dust. Okay, that actually makes it look like there's almost no dust, man. This is 324, damn. This is so nice, man. Actually being able to, like, try out dust is crazy. Bringing sand dust, wow. Mana regen. It's kind of cool. We can't color it, who could have guessed? Okay, we need some real cool dust. Icy mermaid. Regret quitting it, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really say I personally regret it. I think I'm more sad about it. Right, because I still really like the game. I just don't like a lot of ways the game is working currently. Once again, it's like you get like a new raid every 3 or 4 months. It's the same thing. Like, it's just gonna be stressful. It's gonna be more gatekeeping with like the current title system and stuff. I mean, honestly, I think I managed with the burnout because I literally went down to one character. That's all I played. So I had like content for 3 hours every single week, pretty much. But then again, then you have like a raid that you need to do for 4 months in order to max out a system, such that you have barely enough damage for the next raid. But I don't know, it's just stressful, man. I'm paying more to be intensity watch that out, yeah. That's what I mean, man. Maybe in as Neo. I mean, I did. I quit it as well. I quit it on the day where the second part of Moonwater hit. Because I was like, no way I'm playing this shit. I mean, I started day 1 and I played until this day. Where they put out the second part. Where I got like cold storage and Bloodshade Harbor and stuff. That's when I quit. So I don't know, what was that, like 2 months or something? I mean, the funniest part is, I heard like a bunch of stuff about how bad that patch is. I was literally... I don't think I even logged in. I'm gonna be honest. I think on the day where the patch came out, I saw a video. I saw the HP and the requirements of like cold storage and such. I saw the fact that there's like no real mechanic, and I was like, what am I playing this for? Like, why is every single boss just a glorified DPS dummy with barely any mechanics and like the tiniest enrage timer you have ever seen? It's just not fun, man. Like, old BNS had like cool mechanics and stuff, and like, the thing is, to be fair, I didn't watch like a very in-depth cold storage guide or anything, but I remember cold storage had a guy, like a mechanic, I think, where he froze you and you had to like get hit by one of the automatons. I think that's what happened. Now, it could be very wrong, but I don't think that's even in Neo. Now, if it is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it is. And even if it is, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it's going in a good direction. Yeah, we're talking about Blade and Soul Neo currently, which is the last MMO I played. Actually, it's the second last. I also quit. What do you call it? Chrono Odyssey, technically. But I guess it's also only a beta, so who cares? And that's what I mean, like, it's just boring. Like, if that really is all there is, it's just boring. Like, I don't really have the motivation to, like, gear up over such a long time to fight a boss that has, like, no mechanics, poses no threat at all. The only threat is the enrage timer. The energy system. Now, to be fair, I feel like the energy system isn't even the biggest issue. Like, for me personally, what felt so bad is the fact... I feel like old BNS, you logged in to, like, do your dailies, right? You get, like, your constant gold and everything. But with Neo, you log in for your Gamba chance of getting anything from any content you do. Like, I logged in multiple times to run, like, my purple train, and I got, like, green books. And I was like, what did I even log in for today? And again, old BNS, you could run the same dungeon 100 times in a day. Right? And at least you got like these material chests in the end. You don't even get, you get green books, man. Guess what? You break them, you craft the blue box, you don't get the blue box. I mean, again, I'm not saying normal BNS was a good game either. Like, running a dungeon 300 times. Also horrible. Even though I did it. You're missing out. That is also true. You're missing out on the chance of getting something good. True. And I don't know, just not that motivating. I also like the... Why, holy, what the hell is that? That's kind of cool. Okay, we're gonna need to note this one down. This one's cool. Can you even change the color? Oh, god damn. What was I saying? I got too distracted. What I also hated about Neo is it felt so bad to me not grinding field bosses all the time. But they were so efficient to make money when Moonwater came out, and also like weeks later. Like, I was feeling stupid for running dungeons instead of farming field bosses. I'm gonna be honest. And it just doesn't feel fun. And I mean, I found that like super casually. I just literally just stood in one spot and I just tapped into the game like every 5 minutes. I mean, to be fair, like I was excited for Neo. Oh, wait, this one could be cool. Like I was excited for Neo. Not necessarily because I was hoping for it to be like my new forever MMO. But just so I could like kind of relive like my old BNS experiences. Which, I mean, honestly, I got that. Like, I had fun playing the game for like 1 or 2 months, but... Yeah, I mean, the combat is still cool. Even though, I might be honest, I probably would have kept on playing Neo if we had a Soulfest. But we didn't. So I had to like pivot from KFM, which didn't feel fun, into Force Master, which was like slightly more fun. But still, it's not what I want to play, man. I'm a Soulfest enjoyer. Spark for Light Disc. I don't know about that one, man. Honestly, I really like the Wither lighting. But this one is also so cool how it goes like sideways and stuff. I mean, honestly, I don't really know how they like change classes, because I pretty much played classes that I didn't really play before. But yeah, they messed up a lot of stuff. And then on top of that, they're still getting DDoSed every single day. Yeah, it's not looking too good. I was like, I'm still hearing a story because a friend of mine is still playing Neo. And yes, they're getting DDoSed. Yeah, but I mean, again, it was fun for like the time it lasted. That's how I feel about it. Like, I don't regret playing it. Because I never took it too seriously. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? God damn. What if we scale these up? Doesn't even work. Ah, yeah, surely, man, the next MMO that comes out, man, is gonna be the MMO. I don't even watch Stoops anymore. I think I stopped watching him like 1 or 2 years ago. I mean, like, I'm not really trying to hide it, right? I mean, I have a lot of my language from like people on the internet because I listen to them a lot. And I mean, it is what it is. That's how I talk. I think we do with our lighting. I like that one. Despawn when they reach a certain size. Yeah, I thought they only despawn when they get like very small. But as this one is the opposite, because this one actually grows. Yeah, alright, Brad. Have fun doing other things. Was nice talking to you again. See you in the next MMO, right? Surely. Yeah, bye-bye, man. Looks cool scaled up. But does I actually didn't try that out. Okay, maybe not that scale up. Okay, like 2x scale still looks decent. But color? Does color work? Color does not work. Man, this makes me so sad, man. Why does color never work? What if we do like this? Does this actually do something? Oh, it does. Wow. Fancy. Wait, honestly, I just realized you can also use the dust spawner just to like figure out new patterns and stuff. I mean, look at that, man. That looks kind of cool. I think I'm gonna use that just to like see how I can spawn projectiles. Did we comment out the big one? The big swirly man. We did not. There it is. Now, there's like a couple other dusts that also worked. But again, most of them, they're just ignored completely. Okay, it's definitely too intense. Oh, I think the reason it looks so weird is because it's also dust that spawns more dust. Which is why there's like dust even further back. And I don't think making it smaller would solve that issue. But I mean, we can't quit here, man. We need a good dust. We need to get one. If that actually does look better. But the thing is still, we need some way to like make this more intense. I guess we could just spawn more. I mean, fortunately, it doesn't matter if we hit the dust cap. I mean, definitely at different stages, because again, this should happen over the entire mechanic. Even when there's like the big rings going on. I mean, it looks decent. Like, we're getting some more of this. Actually, do I use this already here? Let's hope not. So, how would we like get the intensity? Just do a good old lerp. Let's say we go from 1 to what is like realistic? If it's like max intensity, maybe like 20. And we go based on time, that goes from 0 to... Let's make it slow, like 15 seconds. So we have enough time to look at things. Let's see. How intense is it gonna be? Oh, I mean, actually, it does look really cool if you scale it up. Like, that does look pretty cool. Yeah, I would say... that's what I was about to say. Like, I can imagine this looking like something that's collapsing. Definitely. When my PC crashed, I mean, we hit the dust cap all the time. So there's something new. Okay, so I like that. Big fan of that. So another big question, how do we figure out when to do this? That's the hard part. I mean, I think the easiest way is to also declare like an orb spawning time, right? So we say for 5 seconds, we have like our indicator lasers that shows like the different colors. Then the orb takes 5 seconds to travel. Actually, no. The orbs start at 5 seconds. They take 5 seconds to travel, and there's going to be 3 seconds in between each orb after they hit the boss. So you can also get a time for orb spawn. Right? Like, how long should it take? Maybe like 2 seconds to spawn the orb in? And logically, it should be here. Honestly, I think I'm gonna make a method for that tells me if we're in that time frame. Because I might be honest, I have no goddamn idea how I'm supposed to like... Actually, I should do this in general in the future. We just have a parameter. Oh no, what's it called? A field, I think. We can simply ask, hey man, am I in this stage? Am I in this stage, or whatever. And then I don't need to do all of this mess. I mean, I guess I still kind of have to do it, but... You guys know what I'm saying, right? Surely. Yo, Mr. Reaver Shark, hello, hello. How's the fishing going? Okay, we definitely need some very similar logic to this. Which is very simple, right? The thing is though, what we want. We want to get an interpolant that goes from 0 to 1 as we are within the spawning time frame. Like, how do I call this? Orb spawning time. Can I do this? I do. Okay. With a bow that shoots combat wrenches. That sounds fantastic. Your bow is shooting wrenches and Dimitri is just throwing trees around. I'm proud of you guys. Doing hardcore attempts soon. Nice, man. I mean, you were getting kind of close, so it's about time to finish. Okay, so what I'm thinking, if we do this, right, we do attack timer minus the orb starring time. So this is gonna be an integer that tells us for how long have we been in the orb mechanic. So if we modulo the orb time, cooldown time, and also the spawn time, we pretty much always start to count from like the beginning, right? But this is too much for my head. But I'm thinking, if we have this time, can't I just divide this time by the time it takes to spawn? And then actually we do get a float back. And then what I'm thinking, this should give us our interpolend from 0 to 1. Which actually is completely wrong. Never mind, that makes no sense. No, that doesn't work. Well, actually, I mean, actually it does work. Kind of. Oh, man. What do you mean you drowned in the first? How did you even manage that? Are we like going to the ice biome or something? Because there's no way you drowned in a cave, right? I can actually see you drowning in like a lake. When you're like surrounded by a bunch of corruptors or something. But you actually drowned in a cave. Okay, that's funny. And an issue regarding folder directory. Oh, I hate these issues, man. Okay, I'm just let you know it's gonna be a short stream. So we're probably not even gonna stream more than 1 hour from now. The thing is, like, how do I want to make this in general? Actually, what if we make it that this function simply returns 0 if we are not spawning any orbs, which means it has like the base intensity all the time when we're not spawning orbs, and then it counts up from 0 to the spawn time, which is 120. And then we can divide this by the spawn time to get our interpoland. It's stream dead? Why, what? Am I dead? I don't think I'm dead. I mean, looks good to me. Can anyone confirm? No, I'm actually scared. Am I still here? Hello. No, I think I'm still here. Yeah, maybe there's some weird Twitch things going on again. Who knows? Okay, so we don't do this. We do this outside. I mean, actually, since we spawn the orbs at the beginning of each cycle, we can actually use this, right? We can use this, and we simply clamp this. How does this work? This value. Oh, but it has to be the brackets. So we clamp this value to 0 and up to the orb spawn time. Which actually also doesn't work. Because this way we would have full intensity even after the orb is spawned. Wait, can I just do mod? Just no. Oh my god. Man, do I have to draw this up in paint again? There's no way. But again, if you just have this, it's simply a counter for like each separate orb, wave, phase, whatever. So it goes from 0 to the sum of all of these three. Right, which is like 600, so it's like 10 seconds. Right, from 0 to 600. And now again, we want our function to return a value from 0 to this. Wait. What we can do. Hold on. I cracked the code. I got it. Okay, actually we're gonna make this an actual function. Because that is gonna be too much otherwise. So we call this the orb time. Which is this, because we're gonna need that twice. And then what we can say. If the orb time is greater than the time it takes to spawn. What is it? Greater than this, then we know we have spawned the orb. So we go back to normal intensity. Otherwise, we get the orb time. That is genius. I think that's it right there. And I mean, it does make sense to me. Which means instead of lerping here, we do this. We get this value that goes from 0 to whichever time it takes for the orb to spawn. Which means we can divide by the time it takes to spawn. Which is integer here, right? No, this is float. Nah, I'm sure the game is gonna understand exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm sure. And then we go to big intensity. Bro, imagine that works. Imagine how crazy that would be. That would be a situation that would go down in history books. Why is it negative? Why is it negative? Oh. Okay, actually, I don't know why it's negative, but we're not even actually spawning the orbs. Okay, I mean, it does get more intense, so... That's cool. The issue is it goes intense during the cooldown phase. So that's cool. But it does go up to 20, right? It does go up to 20 back to 1. Okay, that's what it should do. Yeah, I kind of need to think about that. Anyways, I'm gonna be right back. Alright, hello. So I think I know what's going wrong. So basically what we do, we subtract the orb starting time from the attack timer, right? So this is going to be negative before we actually spawn the orbs. Now what I don't understand, we take the mod of a negative number. And based on my knowledge, how the mod operator works, it should turn it into a positive number. So I'm not sure why C# doesn't do that, unless I'm missing something. Right, because like I'm expecting, if I, for example, let's take an easy example. If I do, let's say, -2 mod 3. I would expect that should turn it into 1. Actually, let me put it into a normal calculator. Maybe I'm crazy. -2 mod 3 is 1 in my normal calculator. Yeah. We have blue cheese now. Nice, man. Hope it's tasty. I've actually never eaten these crazy types of cheese. Okay, it's -2. Why is that the case? That is really confusing. Yeah, it seems that it just ignores negative numbers. Oh. Okay, I actually didn't know that. So percentage sign isn't a modular operator, but it just gives you the remainder. Right, and if you divide -2 by 3, you still have a remainder of -2. Okay, that explains it. That makes sense. Okay, and in this case, orb time is obviously greater than this. What's the mod operator? I don't think there's an actual mod operator. I think if there was, GPT would have told me. But I mean, he has this solution. Instead of doing -3 mod 3, you do -3 mod 3 plus 3 mod 3. Or the remainder. I'm still gonna call it mod. But yeah. Which is... I think that's probably not the best way of doing it. But yeah, you would need to handle it differently. Yeah, I mean, the easiest way would probably be check if your number is negative. If it's negative, figure out how often do you need to add 3 to make it positive, and then do the remainder. That's intuitively what I would do. But there's probably some fancy way of getting that number. But yeah, it's not nice. But okay, we learned. Honestly, I'm surprised I never ran into this issue until now. Hey, you never learn enough. If positive, loop -3 until less than 3. I mean, technically -3 is already less than 3. Oh, that's what I mean. Ah, okay. You had both cases. Okay, I see. That would work, yeah. Even though for the second condition, it would need to be greater or equal 0. I think that it makes sense. It is for integers. Because I know there's like float modulus. I actually don't know how it's defined though. I think it's something special. It's not just the normal integer mod. Or maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. But it does exist. Okay, so we kind of just need to check if orb time is negative, right? We just say if orb time less than 0, we just turn it to 0. I mean, I guess then we can also do this. If orb time is less than 0, or it's greater than the spawn time, then we set it to 0. Else we just return it. Okay, I'm not saying it's clean, but it at least looks better. May not be more readable, but it does look better. No, that should fix that issue. And obviously we still don't actually wait for this spawning time. So they're still just gonna go somewhere. Whenever they want to. And still -2. Wait, how is it still negative? I know it's always a -2. Oh, but I'm stupid because we're printing the modulus, not the stuff. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Okay, but I think it's working. So, what we need to do next is we need to differentiate between the spawning and the what, like the transportation phase. Does it mean right now they start moving as soon as they exist? Okay, but we see the intensity go up. Okay, I like that. Okay, so we also need to add the spawn time here, right? Oh, this is such a goddamn mess, man. It's the same we do up there, right? Start time. No, wait, this. No, we do also need to put the spawn time in here. Actually, we should just call this like the total orb phase time. Yeah. Right name. I mean, a good thing with scratches though, you can just like take your code and just move it somewhere else, right? So you can just make it look nice. Yeah, the total orb phase time. I mean, it makes sense now. Because again, we have like multiple orb phases. I mean, technically total is wrong. Actually, you're right. It's not the total orb phase time. It's the individual orb phase time. Right, this is the time it takes from the beginning of the spawning animation until the end of the cooldown time, after which the next spawning animation starts. So actually you were correct. That was a bad naming. See, man, you're already better at modding Terraria than I am. Would it make it harder? What do you mean? It makes sense. You can memorize extremely well with your quota, so you don't care about readability. Yeah. I don't think I need to comment on that. I mean, I also understand what my code does while I'm writing it. Now, if you come back to your code like 2 months later, or if someone else sees your code, yeah, that's where the problems start. Too many words, but okay. Since we have many words, you can at least read the words and understand what it tells you, right? Right, it's the individual orb phase time. So the individual time for each orb phase that it takes. Right, I think that makes sense. Okay, so we have this. Cool. Then if it's 0, we reset stuff. That's cool. And then we need to check the subphases. So if the orb timer is less equal than the orb spawn timer, then in here we spawn the orb. Which means we may go from low transparency. No, we go from high transparency to high opacity. And we also scale it up. And else, I mean, we can just have this scenario, right? Even though I don't even know what is complicated. So if not, the orb timer is greater equal than the... What does that mean? Like, why do we even have this here? I mean, we just need to flip these, right? This is actually unreadable. Is you have the little... Yeah. We did. Okay, so if orb timer is less than orb time, or orb timer is more than orb time plus cooldown time, that makes no sense. Okay, no, let's just go through all phases to make my life easy. And we just go from the latest one. It's gonna be very easy syntax-wise. So if orb timer is more than the... Oh, actually we have to add them all up. Is greater than the orb spawn time. Plus the orb... normal orb time. Then we're in the cooldown phase, right? Else, if the orb timer is only greater than the spawning time, that means we're like in a moving phase. Otherwise, we're in the spawning phase. Yes, that makes sense. Take notes. That's going to be on the test. Okay, then we do this here. Oh, actually, we can do the direction change during the cooldown phase. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. That is so gonna be on the test, man. That is like basic knowledge right here. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. So we have this. Spawning. Spawn is gonna be easy, right? So we have like an orb scale somewhere, right? We have an orb scale. Cool. Pog. Where do we set this otherwise? Okay, we also set it in the orb phase. That is fair. That makes sense. But in here, we want to lerp this bad boy up from 0 to 1.5, I think, is what we go for. Yeah. And our interpolant can simply be orb timer divided by the time it takes to spawn. Which should be a float, but it is an int. Frick you. Float, boom. It's a scale. Transparency is a bit more tricky because we don't have a variable for that. I guess I can just make one. And it's going to be a bit messy with the drawing because we have like this additional transparency, which I knew was a horrible idea. Okay, let's change some things. First of all, instead of telling it its scale, I think it's better if this is an interpolant. Which actually doesn't work with this. So we need another one for the normal orb scale, which is going to be hard-coded. And never going to change. And then we can use this here. Times the interpolant. Okay. Makes sense. And then we simply draw... What's the scale? There. Orb scale times interpolant. Cool. And we're gonna do the same for transparency. Or do we do the same? So this is like always 0.2. Actually, no, we can just put this in here. We don't care about this. Okay, I think I got it. Just shitting me on. Alright, I respect that. That's all I need. Just put all your trust in me. I never messed up code before. Okay, honestly, transparency is just going to be the same thing, pretty much. Except, big exception, we go to only 0.8. Then it's going to stay there, but in the moving phase, towards the end, we need to loop this down. I mean, we can just do it based on itself. It goes to 0, let's say 10% every single frame. Oh, actually, we don't know the time now. Actually, wait. We do have the orb position interpolant. Which means... we can just put this in, right? And put this in, except we want to take the maximum of either this, or let's say 0.8. Actually, no, that's not a good idea. New cheese weapon, nice. Is it gonna be your entire mod? Just adding a bunch of cheese weapons? Yes, okay. Interesting. Sounds unique. Actually, that makes no sense what I'm doing here. What I should be doing is we do good old get lerp. And we want to go from it also doesn't work. Okay, we need to make a conditional. If we are if we are 80% done distance-wise, then we change the transparency based on this. Actually, it's also a horrible idea. Because then it's just gonna instantly jump to almost being like fully transparent. Okay, how do we make it not jump? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I say no cheese mod yet, yeah. It makes sense. You give the people what they want, right? Honestly, I don't know why I'm struggling so much with these types of things in the last couple of days. I think it can't be that hard. So we also need another lerp for this. Kind of. But how would you do this one? Maybe we can just copy this. So it goes from 0.8 to 1 based on this. Wait a minute. Does that actually work? Where? Oh, actually, it does. Wait. It does work. I actually forgot for a second what this does. Which means if this value is like less than 0.8, we always get 0 back. And then when it's going from 0.8 to 0.1, this term gives us back a corresponding number that goes from 0 to 1. Yeah, wait, I'm stupid. Like, it's literally right here what I need. It's right there. But instead, we go... Actually, no, I think that works. Then we don't need this garbage. Yeah. How about that? How about that? What do I do? Why am I actually in this world? Why am I here? Honestly, I think it's so funny that people that have no idea how this world came to be, they're gonna be so confused. Yeah, man, this world is so old, man. It's like a year old or something at this point. And like, I love it so much because like it's so messed up to a point you couldn't build this. There is no way you could build something that looks that messed up. Yeah, I think it was Master Death Mode? Rogue, I think. Actually, no, it was probably Expert Death Mode. Was it Master? No, probably Expert Death Mode. Yeah, man, good old times. Like, where does it put me here, though? I mean, the issue is I think it's kind of hard to fix that because I have literally 3 FPS on my title screen. By the way, if anybody knows why I have 3 FPS on the screen, please let me know. Because I literally don't know. Does it go away if I go in settings? It does go away when I go into settings. Do I still have frame skip on? Oh! Oh! Okay, I didn't even know it does that. Holy, it's so fast. Yeah, bro, I don't know why my title screen is so goddamn laggy, man. I don't know what I did. But it's kind of funny. Okay, let's see. Does it work? Does it spawn in? Please spawn in. I would be... Oh! Okay, it does get too transparent. But besides that, I mean... It kind of works. But yeah, the transparency... Also, it's getting a bit too big. Is it the magnet sphere? It's not the magnet sphere. It's the lightning orb from Cultist. But recolored. Where is it? There. Look at that. I think we did a decent job with the recoloring. Yeah, but earlier you said, I don't even know if the magnet sphere looks different than the Cultist thing. It could be the same sprite, I actually don't know. Definitely very similar. Okay, so this one is messed up. Actually, no, not this one. It's this one up here. This one is messed up. Oh yeah, of course it is. There should be 0.2. Because we want 80% opacity and not 80% transparency. Okay, but the scale is also messed up, no? Or is that just me? Or were they always this big? These things are massive. I guess they had a scale of 1 then, by default. Orb scale. Hmm. I don't think so, no, because your boss doesn't really work with what I'm planning. And making a second boss is not that easy, then I can just do it real quick. It's actually way too big. Or at least that's what I would say based on what I remember. So the idea was like this third twin, right? You know, to be fair, I don't remember a lot of the patterns and stuff you described. Actually, maybe it was default scale. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. But okay, one more thing we actually also have to change based on intensity is the radius of the dust. Because it kind of looks weird how it's all just, like, it's getting more intense, but it still is like the same circle. Okay, actually, no, it's, wait, there's no way, that's a 50% difference. Also, I think we need way more dust. I don't think we have enough dust. Also, I don't know why I delete all the dust in the wipe. That looks kind of weird. It progressed since day one. I mean, I'm hoping. I mean, I would say we made a lot of progress, but still, like the grand scheme of the boss, I feel we're barely making any progress. Ooh, actually, what we can also try out, we can add back the rotation thing, and then we can randomize this. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something, I would agree. Okay, we're getting somewhere. It just takes a real long time because of my unconventional methods. What else do we want to change? Oh yeah, the radius. And we need more dust as well. We don't have enough dust. Or make the dust bigger. Ooh. What if we do that? Okay, so we can just call this dust intensity. We put this in here. This one's for the number. Actually, let's see. What if we leave the number the same? Or what if we at the intensity. So the scale goes from 1 to 2. Actually, the speed should also probably go crazier. How do you make the speed go crazy? I don't know if we can also just add a constant to it. What if you just say +5 times dust intensity? Okay, radius also. What if we make the radius smaller by default? And then again, we add like +5 times 16 times dust intensity. Or that. How about that? Okay, it actually doesn't look that bad by default. Oh! Ooh! Okay, then it changes direction. Oh, I think we're cooking. Okay, change direction. Oh yeah, I forgot we currently randomize for every single dust. That's stupid. This just muted the mechanic break. I don't think we wiped, did we? Yeah, I think I like the spawning animation. Because I mean, now it's really coming out of it, you know? Like before you could clearly see how it's like spawning out of nowhere. But now, I mean... Okay, no, it actually is wiping. I guess I missed that. Oh, ooh, ooh. I like that. Yeah, I can kind of see that, yeah. Since we do make it bigger, I think we can spawn less dust. I think I do agree. I don't think we're hitting the cap though, no. I don't think that's it. Actually, how does like the radius change? I actually do see the radius change. So we can do this. I also need to like memorize the direction we change towards. Like right now we just randomize it every frame. Okay, I mean I guess we just have to memorize. Sure. Call it the orb. What am I doing again? I forgot what I'm doing. Oh no, what's this? What'd I say? What is this? What did I say? I don't even remember. Oh. I mean, that's an understandable reaction. Ooh. I mean, honestly, I agree. I agree with whatever this guy said. I actually forgot what to do. Oh yeah. Direction change. Okay, and all we need to do is at the beginning of each mechanic, we just need to memorize this. Oh, we need to randomize. For the clockwise direction change. Okay, maybe... we call it clockwise direction change. Cool. Or is it a float? Why would it be a float? Okay, so we randomize this once in the beginning. Then we put this in. And then we obviously still need like the actual logic to change the order in a list. Actually, how do we make sure that we only do this once? Because with issues, we randomize the direction in the beginning of the phase, but we apply it in the end. I mean, I guess I can just check if this is equal. Which I hate, but okay. Man, I hate how many ifs there are, man. Oh my god. So many sections in here. This is horrible to read. We are 3 layers deep. If this. If this. If this. Oh my. Oh my. But it is what it is. So. We have our orb order. Realize it's not too bad. 3 layers is like the absolute most you should ever do. Three is like that is like close to the edge. Like you shouldn't go further than this. That is literally just bad code structure at that point. Like in 99.9% of situations, you can prevent these things very simply. You got 10, yeah, and it is a bad coding habit. Again, there are some situations where you have to nest a lot, but in most situations you can prevent it. Right, I mean, I guess if you have like a 10-dimensional object and you need to iterate over every point, I mean, I guess you would need 10 loops. Right, that would be like the 1% type case. Okay, but what I'm thinking. So, in this orb order, actually, when do we remove? When do we remove the thing? Do we do it in the end here? No. Oh, we do it in collision, right? Yeah, so if you're in the cooldown phase, we already have the next one. Okay. So what I'm thinking, we take the next orb, right, which is number 0, 1, or 2. If we rotate clockwise, we simply add 1. Wait. If we go clockwise, right? We add 1. But we obviously need to take mod number of orbs again. Put a bracket to make sure it works. Otherwise, that's the nasty part. I don't think we can use this. Because as we know, this doesn't work. Because there could be a 0 here. And then we do -1, it goes negative, and it stays -1. Which means we need another F. Oh my god, I'm cringing. Oh my god, no. Oh no. Please forgive me for all my sins that I'm committing right now. Let's call it ERP. I mean, it's only for this one position, right? I mean, no one cares. No one cares what it's called, right? So again, if it's clockwise change, we can simply do this. Otherwise, okay, honestly, I don't want to do another F. So we're just going to make this a long one. So if we do -1, and that becomes less than 0, then we need to add 3. No, not add 3. We need to add the number of orbs, and then take mod of the number of orbs. And as we can just put this, then. Okay, otherwise, we can simply just, you know, what if I just get the first thing? Like alt pause. What is this? Alt pause. Okay, then we do this. Otherwise, just do alt pause -1. And then we call this the new position. And then we set this to the new position. Wow. Okay, honestly, let me just print this. I think there's no way it's gonna work. Alt pause. New pause. And for time being, I should also print if I hit the right or wrong one. But I don't even check that anywhere. Or should I just color it differently for now? Maybe I do that. Just for like debugging purposes. Actually, do we even need this anymore? I don't know. I guess we just keep it. Okay, so let's say we have a color, and if the current orb, no, if no, we do get the actual indices of the currently active orbs. Okay. So if I is the same as current correct one, let's say we put this thing at, I don't know, max blue. Else it's gonna be normal. Let's just make it black, just so we can really differentiate it. Alright, so the correct one is gonna be blue, the wrong ones are gonna be black. Oh, I'm still printing this. Oh, that's an issue. This thing prints every single frame. Okay, I don't know how I just ignored the error message, but okay. Let's just not worry about that. Okay, so we can clearly see that's the right one. Also, I didn't pay attention to the order at all. So I don't even know if it changed. So it went from 2 to 1. 1 to 0. Is that right, bro? I don't even know. My brain is too slow for this. Okay, let's just do it again. So we have top left. We have left bottom. Right. Okay. So it should be this one. Left. Next one would be bottom normally. But we rotate this way. So it should be this one. Be blue. Okay, it doesn't work. Why is it the right one? And it should be the bottom one. Yeah. Wait, so did I mess up or is that the Mac? So left, right, bottom. Okay, left. Next one would be right. But we rotate this way, so it should be this one. Okay, it's not this one. It doesn't really change. Bottom, so it should be this one. Ah. What the fuck is hell cheese? What the? Is it rotating correctly? I mean, it should be. I'm hoping. So we randomize the direction in the beginning of the orb mag. And again, if we go clockwise, yeah, we add. Or maybe this one is messed up. So if we go counterclockwise, we want to subtract 1. Yeah, but if we go negative, we need to add 3. Right, so if we add 0, minus 1 would be, well, minus 1. Plus 3 gives us 2. So we do rotate backwards. Yeah, from 0 to 2. And then this one, I mean, this one goes clockwise. Yeah. Okay, let me see if like the chat stuff makes sense. So I'm gonna be honest, my brain is so slow for that. Okay, we have left. Left, right, left. Okay, it's there. The next one would be right. Next one would be right here. Okay, so it's rotating counterclockwise. Right, the next one should be up here. So this one was index 0. Since it's counterclockwise, we do -1, so it's 2. So where's 2? How's that the exact same position? Wait, do we not use it to spawn the thing? Or is the color wrong? Any chance the color is wrong? So if we go like this. So if the color is correct, we shouldn't wipe here. If it's wrong, we should wipe. Okay, the color is correct. Okay, no what? We need more debugging. Just to make absolutely sure in the collision checking. Check collision. So we say if we have player intersect, then we simply say if it's the correct orb, we say correct, else wrong. And hopefully we get some information from that. I would love if we could get this to work today. It would be very poor. Oh well. Okay, how do I not lag now? But my mod reloader broke. What the fuck did I do? Why is it broke? What? Why is it disabled? I mean, it's cool that he can make images, but it's a bit annoying that he's very limited by doing that. It's very slow and he doesn't really listen to what you say oftentimes. We have bottom, left, right. Wait, I pick up like multiple ones. I know I didn't. Okay. This one's wrong. This one's wrong. This one's right. Why is the rotation just wrong, man? Yo, purple, hello. Works sometimes. What I mean is if you, for example, tell him, hey man, make an image of an orb or like a rectangle that is 50 by 50. From my experience, he just ignores you and he makes like a 500 by 500 image because he can't do smaller images. For example. That's fine. I mean, not if you want a small image. Like, the first one is completely messed up. But everything but the first one works. What is happening? I don't know. But let me see again. So, we have left, right, bottom. Okay. First blue one should be left. There it is. We should pick it up. Pick up 2 for some reason. Cool. So next one should be right. But we go clockwise. So it should be the bottom one. But I think it's this one still, for some reason. Yeah. So the second one doesn't rotate. Last one was bottom, so it should go here. But it probably also doesn't rotate. It just... Wait, why is it there? Oh my... But okay, I mean, we have like the basic idea down, right? Yeah, that's the idea. Like, the only reason the orbs have different colors is for debugging, to make it easier to see what's happening. But they're all gonna have the exact same color. And you have to like look at which direction the dust is going to figure out which direction the orbs change. Yeah, it's just so weirdly messed up. Like, sometimes I just get multiple ones at once. Yeah, honestly, I don't have the time to figure this out today. So continue this next time. Got a knife? Nice, man. Be careful. Careful you don't cut yourself. But yeah. We see. I mean, we can probably fix this next time. That shouldn't be too hard. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow, if we're going to be playing Fargos again, because I do want to finish Fargos eventually. But yeah. I mean, that's why I started so early, because I knew I'm going to leave soon. But yeah. Anyways, tomorrow is going to be normal stream again. So we start at like 30 minutes ago, pretty much. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, gamers. Have a good night. Stay good, chat. And I see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.